This is a picture of me when I was 16, and I'm in my girlfriend's bedroom, and we had just ordered a tattoo gun off Amazon, and I am giving myself my first ever tattoo. What's up? I'm Jack Hayes, and I'm gonna show you how it was and how it is. It looks like from day one, I've been stunning. Okay? Look at me. Over here dressed nice. I probably did this myself too. I am gonna take credit for this outfit right here. I don't know, I think it's pretty nice. Let's give it like a 6 out of 10. I'm actually wearing the exact same thing I'm wearing right now. I'm kind of like a cartoon character, whereas I just kind of wear the same thing every day. I think I'm wearing different pants and different shoes and a different leather jacket, because I have different leather jackets, but they're all the same leather jackets. This is like a vintage t-shirt from 1997. It's pretty cool. People have been wearing this outfit since the fucking 50s or something like that. Like, it's been, you know, this is a staple, the leather jacket and jeans. You can't go wrong with it. I think especially with the way that social media is and the way that TikTok is and the way that the pandemic has just, like, I don't know, changed fashion so much, and people are so much more willing to wear whatever they want, and the line between what's masculine and feminine being blurred more than ever right now. I think it's a cool time period. I think it's a lot more accepting, and you can just kind of do whatever you want, and clothes are clothes, and we're just supposed to have fun with them. That's all you're supposed to do, so yeah. This house, the red and white one that is on the edge, the last house that I lived in Cincinnati, I lived there for probably about a year. It was a pretty defining year for me though. I went to culinary school while I was in this house. I got sober while I was in this house. I wrote Morbid Mind while I was in this house. I wrote most of Mixed Emotions, my first album, while I was in this house. The house was built in 1913. The basement had plants growing into it. We had bug problems. I mean, we didn't have heat or AC, and we were in Cincinnati. It was brutal cold during the winters and stifling hot during the summers. I used to always think like, oh, like when I make it out of the struggle or whatever, I'm gonna not be able to write songs anymore. Like, my inspiration will die. If I'm not struggling, how am I gonna tap into the pain, or whatever? So stupid, because it's not true at all. You know, now that I have so much more time, and like being able to be comfortable has allowed me to be more expressive and more creative than ever before. So don't like purposefully put yourself through shit at the expense of like making good art. Don't be a martyr for your music. You know what I'm saying? This is actually a picture from inside of one of the rooms in my current house. This is my studio. I record most of my music at home. Yeah, this is like where me and my girlfriend spend most of our time in the studio. Like, we have a living room, and she has an art studio too. But I just love the vibe in this room so much. I've been collecting equipment and collecting guitars and collecting decor for this room for years and years and years, and just to finally have a place to be able to put it and have a place that's like my creative space is incredibly rewarding. And I think like it just feels really good in there. And I don't know, we sit for hours in my studio and just smoke and play guitar and play chess and listen to music, and like it never gets old. So really grateful to have that space. Ooh, 2009 Crown Victoria. It's a Ford. It is a decommissioned police vehicle that I got for, I don't know, $2,500, because the decommissioned police vehicles are mad cheap. It's got a V8 in it. I love this car so much. I spent so much time in this car. She was good to me. I used to, you know, if you cut me off on the highway, I could flash I had a spotlight like right on the side, and I would flash my spotlight at people if they pissed me off on the road. I had a speaker, like an intercom I could talk to people with. I had the siren still hooked up, so I got my license suspended, so my days of driving are currently on a hiatus. Have been for like 3 years now. I Uber most of the time in LA. I really hate the idea of being responsible for driving people around or responsible for the other people, like the pedestrians that are on the road, that you become responsible for when you are the driver. Just seems like a lot of unnecessary stress to me that I do not want to take on, so I'm not really worried about getting my license back right now. This is a picture of me when I was 16, and I'm in my girlfriend's bedroom, her high school bedroom. She wasn't my girlfriend at the time, we were just friends. And we had just ordered a tattoo gun off Amazon. What I'm tattooing right here is area codes on my legs. And I actually tattooed them, like if I'm standing up, they're upside down, because they're like supposed to be for me. So it reads like, when I read it, it reads 651 and then 513. And 651 is the area code for St. Paul, which is where my entire family lives. And then 513 is the area code of Cincinnati, which is where I lived my entire life. So yeah, that's my first tattoo ever, and I did it myself. This tattoo on my wrist, I don't know if anybody can see that. It says RR 126, which is like a really famous highway. It's actually the highway that I got pulled over on my Crown Vic and got my license suspended in. But that's that, and I did that one myself. All the tattoos on my wrist actually, which I really want to get removed one day, I was like on a bender and I just had access to a tattoo gun when I shouldn't have had access to a tattoo gun, and I just like woke up with those. So those are on my wrists and I'm waiting to get them off. These are some of my tattoos today. It says cook more. That's what I have on my knuckles right here. It says cook more, and then on these knuckles it says love life. So when I was 18, I got kicked out of my parents. And I was just not really on a good path. I was chasing music and working in restaurants. After this went on for a couple years, I was really going in the wrong direction, and my mom picked me up one day because my electric had been cut off and I didn't have any money for food, and I just like asked her to just like take me out to lunch. And I think she took me out to lunch, and the way that I remember it is she was just begging me to do something with my life that had more promise, yada yada, you know. That's kind of the story that everybody hears when they're trying to make it as a musician. And we were driving past Cincinnati State, which has the best culinary school in the Midwest, and we were just driving past, and I just told her like pull into the parking lot and, you know, I'll enroll in culinary school. It's so much more than just cook more. Like, doesn't mean cook 3 meals a day. It's work harder. It's enjoy what you're doing. It's, you know, care about people. It's all that together. So it's a lot deeper message than just that. I love going to tattoo studios. I love getting tattooed. This is my very favorite artist to get tattooed by and my very favorite studio to be in. His name is Bruno Levi, and his studio is in Brooklyn and New York, like in Dumbo. His studio is just full of insane art and just the coolest items that I've ever seen in my whole life. It's like a fucking museum. He's not just like doing tattoos to do tattoos. He's doing tattoos because he loves tattooing. And I like to be around that. I want to get tattooed by people that are like that. So super cool to be with Bruno. It's actually funny, the first time I met Bruno was when I was going through the signing process, and like somebody that I was looking at signing with like flew him out and like brought him when he met me to get tattooed. So that's how I met Bruno, and just kind of blossomed into a friendship beyond that, and grateful to know him, grateful to have his art on my body. That's me in the middle. This is my sister in the pink sweater, and this is my mother in the red flannel. And that is the day I finished culinary school. Music is my passion, but I found a love for cooking in culinary school, and I'm really grateful for that experience. The overall toughness of the kitchen kind of prepared me for the toughness of the music industry, if that makes sense. Being in culinary school was hard because I thought I was putting my time towards the wrong thing, or like So I made this promise to myself that culinary school wasn't me finding a new career path. It was me figuring out a way to feel more comfortable while I searched for like my end to the music industry. What was it, like a month ago, I went on my first tour, and that's what this picture is from. This is actually from the DC show at Songbird, which was a really cool full circle moment because, you know, DC is a city that I love and a city that I have some history in, so that was a big moment for me. But I think it's, I don't know, it's kind of cool to see that, what do I do? This. Look at that. So this is a picture of me and my girlfriend in the lobby of her dorm room. So she was going into school in DC while I was living in Cincinnati for a couple years, which is actually the reason that I ended up moving to DC. What I remember from this night is I put on my outfit and then Chala put on her outfit, and I was like living out of a suitcase in her dorm room, and she was like, "You need to change." And I was like, "No, you need to change. Like, all your clothes are here. This is your home. Like, I'm not about to change out of my suitcase." That makes no sense. So we just ended up going out matching. And I think it's cute. I love this picture of us. We look happy. This is a picture of us in the green room at, what is this? Irving Plaza in New York. I was opening up for Role Model. It was my first show ever when this picture was taken. So I'm just like huddled up, leaning on her, trying to find some kind of comfort. Yeah, I think we look good in this picture. Her outfit was cute that night. We both love clothes and we love fashion so much, and we love coordinating our outfits together and making sure that, you know, I have a pop of color that matches one of her primary colors or the other way around. Yeah, I love coordinating with her. This is so funny. There's this venue in Cincinnati, in Harrison, like kind of like in the middle, called the Blue Note. And sometimes there's shows there. And I was like kind of friends with this promoter, and we were like doing like small shows with maybe 30 people in the room every once in a while with him. And he liked my performance, he liked my set, and he goes, "Hey, I have an Afro Man show and he needs an opener, like, would you want to open?" And I was like, yeah, I want to open for Afro Man. That's so cool. At this point, I was like only making rap music. I didn't have any guitar music yet, so it was more of a fit. And yeah, I opened up for Afro Man. It was cool. And then I got to meet him after, and it was cool to meet him, and his performance is great. And you know, this is a picture of me maybe 2 years ago now. This was from my first trip in LA when I first got into the studio with Travis. Obviously, that's Travis right there. I think actually we were writing the song Drown in this picture for my EP. But yeah, I think this was cool. I've never really been like somebody who is like very collaborative on their music, but it was a huge dream of mine to work with Travis because he's just like, I've been a drummer since I was a young kid, and he is the best of all time. So thought it was kind of in the cards, and I'm glad it got to happen. Thank you guys for watching. That was how it was and how it is.